What I think they're really going to do first is delete the zeros with the project of the deletion of the zeros and then revalue the currency. I think what they're waiting for is the working of the central bank digital currency before they make their change. There's no sense in doing it more than once. If that's the case, well then we know that no changes or no revaluation of any real significance are going to come to the Iraqi dinar until after the Iraqi central bank digital currency is developed. What that means for people holding Iraqi dinar, I'm not quite sure. In January 2025, Iraq Business News conducted an online survey to gauge expectations regarding a potential revaluation of the Iraqi dinar. It revealed that among dinar speculators, there was a notable belief that President Trump's return to office might influence the currency's value. Remarkably, over half of the respondents anticipated the Iraqi dinar would revalue by at least 1,000x within the first 100 days of Trump's term. President Trump has neither taken action nor made statements supporting this theory more than 2 months into this period, despite various unfounded claims circulating online. We need to wait till after Eid to see what these reforms are all about. My prayer is that they are about a new exchange rate to make that budget work. They've been hammering security and stability at home. They're non-stop talking about it. Saleh is openly talking about security and stability, sustainability, all of those things. Question: any news on lower denoms being out in Kurdistan? No comment. I can tell you, not in Kurdistan. Question: do you think we will get to the end of this before Easter? Marks: based on everything I am seeing, banker movement, bond movement, etc., I think bond folks really are in their big week right now. My gut feeling is April is our month. Response to Guru Sandy possible RVIQD exchange rate post from the 4th of February 2025 below. Pennies will do nobody any good and will guarantee a bankruptcy. The average dinar investor, majority of, hold 125,000 note. This is a fact. Iraq is the least affected. Trump's tariffs ignite global markets, and a price war is imminent. Quote: Iraqi energy exports, including crude oil, are not included in these duties. Iraq currently exports between 7 and 8 million barrels of crude oil and its derivatives per month to the United States. These exports constitute the backbone of Iraqi exports and have not been affected by the recent customs measures. Economic expert Mustafa Hantush believes that Iraq will be the least affected by the tariffs imposed by US President Donald Trump on the world. The Development Road Project, the train, into Turkey into Damascus from Iraq, it's going to be a big thing. It's going to be a big deal. And it's going to be a global event. We're watching it happen in real time. They are so much further advanced now than we've ever seen before. We didn't see things like this in 2016 nor 2018 or even 2 years ago. We've seen what al-Sudani has done to make it happen, and he has the support of Sistani, and it sounds like he's got the support of al-Sadr. Emo these next 2 months where they will be educating you, Iraqi citizens, they will let you hold them, lower notes, see them and touch them and ask questions, which is all part of the monetary reform education, the Azraflak that they're doing right now. That's how they defined it: monetary literacy and your new banking reform and international status and digitalization mechanism. I do not believe for 1 second they intend to use the US dollar anymore for trade in the near future. Actually, they just told us this recently, so we know it's now a fact. They told us they will be using their own currency, the digital dinar. If this ain't a wow, I don't know what is, lol. But how can they do this without the IQD on Forex? From a former Parliament member, Parliament finance excludes sending budget tables within 2 months. That's its value. In other words, they are still hiding that value in the budget. This is similar to what we saw in Kuwait just before they RV'd. So I am hopeful this is not a delay and just them putting the first week. The beginning of a new quarter of April cannot be wasted again. If it is, shame on Iraq. The inflation rate fell by 35.56%, from 4.50% to 2.90%, reflecting improved price stability. The exchange rate on the parallel market also declined by 1.32%, indicating relative stability in the value of the dinar against the dollar. You have to understand the Azra Flak is a campaign that is going to come out for the next 2 months. Inside this campaign there's also a software, entitled Spend It. This is a program that transfers money at an instant speed of time. It is done through a digital program that delivers instantly a receipt. Spend It is not at 1310 EMO. Spend It is an American term. It is not an Arabic term used in banks, it is also a financial literacy program. Member of the Parliamentary Oil and Gas Committee, Bassem Al-Gharabawi, confirmed today, Thursday, that the oil and gas law will not witness any political movement to pass it during the current legislative session. Al-Gharabawi told Al-Maluma news agency, the oil and gas law will not witness any political movement to pass it during the current legislative session, due to the major disagreements between the federal government and the Kurdistan region over powers and legal provisions, including the implementation of federal court decisions and the formation of the Oil Federation Council. Al-Gharabawi pointed out that differences still exist between the two parties over several fundamental points, most notably the mechanism for implementing federal court decisions, which were supposed to be included in the law. In addition to the differing views on the powers of the proposed Oil Federation Council, he added that the lack of political consensus between Baghdad and Erbil is preventing progress in ratifying the law, stressing that his committee has not received any indications of the concerned parties' intention to expedite negotiations to resolve these thorny issues. It is noteworthy that the approval of the oil and gas law has been stalled for several parliamentary sessions due to political disagreements that prevented reaching a consensus on it. Iraq continues to face delays in budget approval, a practice that has become more of the norm than the exception, negatively impacting the country's economic and administrative situation. The 2025 budget schedules are still circulating through the government corridors, between the Ministries of Finance and Planning, amid administrative complications and political influences that are delaying its submission to Parliament. In this context, Parliamentary Finance Committee member Mouin El-Khatimi emphasized that the government should have submitted the tables on time, especially since the budget does not include any new provisions except for Article 12, paragraph C, which recalculates the cost of producing and transporting crude oil from the Kurdistan region to $16 per barrel, after the amendment was voted on late last year. For his part, Finance Committee member Mustafa Al-Karawi explained that the delay in submitting the schedules has disrupted the operational budget, resulting in delayed payments to employees, including bonuses, promotions, and certificate calculations, in addition to disrupting many government financial activities. Al-Karawi told Al-Maluma that the government's delay in submitting schedules after the end of the fiscal year constitutes a legal violation that negatively impacts the financial stability of government institutions and increases the complexity of implementing the budget on time. In an attempt to explain the reasons for this delay, economic analyst Basil Al-Obeidi identified 4 main factors hindering the submission of budget schedules: lack of a comprehensive economic vision. The Ministry of Finance lacks a clear plan based on the global economic landscape, especially in light of economic changes and international challenges. Political influences and electoral bidding. As the election date approaches, some parties attempt to exploit financial tables to achieve political gains, leading to delays. Cabinet pressure. The government seeks to ensure that the budget is not subject to political bickering, as it wants to pass it in its original form without any substantive amendments.